Well, the old Explorer tried killing me yesterday. So, yeah. Now you might be wondering, how in the world did this thing try to kill you? Well, you know, the wheel bearings are kind of so shot to the point where the wheels just kind of, wander on their own, independent of what I kind of want them to do. And, well, she just let loose on the highway and jarring me left and right and shit like that. And, well, frankly, the brakes also stopped working because, well, that whole rotating assembly was getting so hot from all the constant grinding on the highway trying to get it home. No brakes in it, right? So I'm about to show you how to fix your vehicle for absolutely free. Yep, this is how we're gonna fix her up. That's pretty much all there is to her. You actually make money doing it this way. So well, on with the rest of the video. Well, I mean, now that we got that business taken care of, right? Let's talk about engine. Okay, what's going on with her? As you can see, we got stuff and things, right? As you can see, things have changed a little bit. We now have on top of our tunnel ram 2 Holley double pumpers, 750s. This is the one that we were modifying. This is the project carburetor we've been doing this entire time. So it's got the 850 base plate on the 750 main body. We honed out the cylinder bores to make this base plate fit. Well, here's its twin. As you can see, it was a miracle. I found it on Facebook Marketplace and it was the exact twin to it. So yeah, had to get it. And now we got dual Holleys. We are going to go through this carburetor and make that a mirror image of this one. We're going to do the 850 base plate mod to it as well. So then we'll have, well, probably around 830 CFM, maybe, worth of carburetor. Duals on top of our small block Ford 302. Yeah. Let's see how many comments I get about that is way too much carburetor, because we're going to address that fact in the upcoming video. We're going to talk all about carburetors and carburetor sizing. Not this time around though. And we have our velocity stacks up on top. These are actually bell mouth turbo stacks. And as you can see, I had to crimp the bottom of them to make them fit over the carburetor. Kind of makes like a Venturi effect, pretty much. So that is what we got right there. Nice. Nitrous setup. We got our fuel nitrous lines going on there. That's kind of how that's going to run. And they are running to 2 carburetor base plates, not base plates, spacers, nitrous plates. They are Speedmaster Pro Comp primary perimeter plates. That's the word for it. So let me show you that real quick. Just like this. Now the reason we went with a perimeter plate instead of going with the, oh, you can't see it, but the normal one with the bar in it. Oh, can I show you? Oh, yeah, there we go. Except for the one with the bar in it, is because I just feel like the perimeter, God, that's a hard word for me to say, god dang it. I feel like this is going to work better with our tunnel ram entry right there, those 4 entry holes. I believe spraying fuel this way is going to be better than spraying fuel this way and that way. See what I mean? Or actually it'd be this way and that way. So that's why we went with those. And it just, having the bar in the way just kind of constricts airflow, really. So that is kind of what we're doing. I do want to get, I do want to do something about this ledge. I don't like the fact that there's a ledge right there. So we will have to address that eventually. But for the most part, that's our setup. Now this is not the final, well, probably be the final, but this is not going to be the first thing that goes into the Iron Horse when spring gets here. I got a plan. I mean, you probably don't notice, but there is a lack of E7 cylinder heads around here. I am having the valve job done on them. We're going to run those E7, the ones that we ported, right? Before No Name Nationals. Before No Name. The ones we ported, we are going to run those first because we can just slap them on. We can use these pistons that Nick McMahon gave us, the factory forged pistons. So we're going to do that. We're going to run the E7s on this block with an Anderson N41 camshaft. That's going to be the setup. The tunnel ram, I don't know if we're going to put on right away or if we're going to put one of those on first just to get it up and running and then move on to the tunnel ram, right? I don't know. We're going to have to figure that out. Because then I have other plans for the future, right? God, these cylinder heads have been a pain in my rear end this entire time, and let me tell you why. Pistons. Finding pistons to fit these 202 valves with this standard bore block has been a nightmare, all right? Because I mean, you can find them, right? I mean, they're about $500 for a good for the cheap forge set, right? Because running nitrous oxide, we're gonna want forged pistons. But they with this whole combination, getting compression has been the issue. I mean, we would be stuck with 9-to-1 something compression ratio with this setup, the way that it is. Okay, the cc's of the head, how far the piston's going to be in the bore, deck height there. All of that being said, I can't get the compression ratio I want out of it for buying pistons. Okay, for using the stock, factory forge set, whatever, right? It's fine. I don't want to spend $500 on something though that isn't, at least 10-to-1, 10.5-to-1 is really where I want to be. Yes, it's a nitrous motor. It's going to be, getting sprayed, lower compressions. Oh, good for the nitrous, but it's only going to be on the nitrous 1% of its total lifespan. I mean, it's mainly going to be a naturally aspirated engine. With just, spurts of happy fun gas here and there. Well, that being said, we also have the other engine that came out of the Mustang. That's a 40 over block. Again, getting pistons, it's about $500 for a 40 over, but using that, we can get the 10-to-1, 10.5-to-1 compression ratio that we want out of it with the larger piston. But then again, we got to get that block all torn apart, taken care of, repainted, everything else when this one's already ready to go, right? And, that's that. We have this 331 stroker crankshaft right here that I want to build a stroker out of. But I'm kind of giving up hope on that because the piston price goes from $500 to about $700-800 for a set of pistons just because of that stroke, right? A 347 stroker piston, cheaper than a 331 stroker piston. I don't understand, right? But yeah, that's just the way it is. I'm not going to spend $800 on a set of pistons just to run that tinier stroke crankshaft. So the 331 stroker, unfortunately, is, not happening. But, I got This Windsor 302 block, right, the smaller displacement Windsor block is good. You know, it has the block splitting problem, right? I have an idea for the future, and I'm not going to discuss it just yet, but just know we're going bigger and badder. Okay? That's all we need to know. But that's not for a while yet. That's future. This is what we're worried about right now. Getting the E7 cylinder heads done to put on this block to get the Anderson N41 camshaft. And we'll run the tunnel ram either with these hollies at first or the Carters at first just to get it going, right? Because I don't want to spend months, you know, testing and tuning, trying to get stuff. I just want to get something in the car. That way we can drive it, and then we'll fine-tune it from there, right? But with all this newfound power that we're going to have in comparison to what we did have, we're going to need to get a grip. And I got something for that too. Here they are. We got some slicks and some old school mag wheels. Made in the USA. US mags. 15-inch by 7.5. Now, these slicks are used, and I have a guy who sells these used slicks. I mean, they still got life on them, to be sure. Dirt cheap. He runs them for a couple of laps, then he sells them off. Yeah, good deal for me. So, we're going to be able to hook these bad boys up. They're 28-10-5s. So, you know. Oh, and the cat likes them too. So, approved. All that's left is just to get the camshaft, get the various bits and pieces. Using the stock cylinder heads means we can more than likely use stock style, you know, push rods and all that jazz, and rocker arms and whatnot. I might get a set of roller rockers for it. I might just run the stock rockers. This is the, you know, low buck, better than what we had, but not the ultimate, you know, engine combination here. Get that all done. I need an oil pan. I need to go out there and clean up the timing, not the timing chain, but the water, that thing, you know, the water, what was it, timing chain cover? That might be it. We got one out there that I'm going to use. I got to go clean it up and whatnot. But there is progress being made, okay? That's the important thing. There is progress being made. We have a concrete plan. You now know the combination of what's gonna go on here. So that's great. We need a 3000 stall converter. That's the only last thing we need, because we have the gears, 410 gears, welded spider gears. This engine, 3000, 3500 stall converter. It's going to be great. Slicks. Okay. Alright, well that's a quick update of what's going on. Next, we are going to talk about carburetors. The ins and outs and CFM ratings and everything else. A comprehensive carburetor video coming soon. So, until then, I'll catch you next time.